Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, my name is Vahid Kulsberg. I live together with my wife. She's out there piling up firewood that we just bought. We live in northern Finland, above the Arctic Circle, around a city called Rovaniemi. I thought with this video that I would bring you along. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I thought with this video that I would bring you along from the beginning. That is from the planning stage of what I want to do and accomplish with my videos. And I try to plan my videos as much as possible so that I don't run into improvisations, especially when it comes to filming. The filming aspect, by experience, I have learned that part, it's good to prepare and organize in advance as best and as detailed as possible, which means that I want to have my scenes ready before I go out. I want to know what it is that I film before I go out and film it. And so far my ideas have been to have a rough idea of what it is I want to do. For instance, the theme of the video and some practical things that I would like to bring up in my video. And for this video, it's two things I would like to accomplish. One is I will bring along my large format camera and I will take a photo. So what I want to do with this here is take you through what my the picture I have in mind that I would like to realize when we're out there. And I am a photographer by training and by profession, and when it comes to taking pictures, it's a bit the same as taking videos, that I have to know what it is I want to photograph before I photograph. And so that's one thing. I will attempt some drawings here, the vision of the photograph that I want to accomplish, to bring it down to paper and then take it out there and see if we can accomplish that in real life. The other aspect of this video that I want to accomplish is directly related to being outdoors. There is a debate, or maybe it's not such a debate, but well, it is a debate. And when it comes to tools that you use outdoors, and there are those who speak for axes. What was that? There are those who speak for axes, and there are those who speak for saws, for instance. I grew up using axes back in Central Africa, in the Central African Republic, and I have watched how people use axes, and I have learned to also use axes. And I've never brought a saw out with me. I have always managed to accomplish what I wanted using an axe only. And so what I wanted to accomplish with this video is also demonstrate how to use one tool, to use it in a way that you can also accomplish what a saw would make. And there is a discussion around how you process firewood when you're out there. And and from what I see is that there seems to be a tendency to think in a very locked way when it comes to processing firewood for your camp. And the locked thinking is that okay, first you have to fell the tree, or if you think that you need a tree, you have to fell it, and then you have to size it, saw it, or use the axe and get the sizes that you think you need, and then split it in smaller. This is a notion that I have hard times really wrap my mind around, because the idea of getting processing your firewood into very nice logs that you then go ahead and split into smaller pieces, that's a modern take of firewood, and these sizes comes from modern usage of firewood, which is you need certain sizes so that you can put them inside your stove. But when you're out there in nature, you don't really have stoves unless it's winter, and you have the ability to bring along a portable nice firewood stove to heat up your tent, or and then you need those sizes to fit into your stove. But if you're just going to make a fire out there in the open, I'm questioning, why would you need to cut sections of firewood to and then split them nicely and organize them and then burn them? That's the theme that I would like to address in the second aspect of this video. And I would like to, in this video, demonstrate how you can use your axe, felling a tree, chopping it, and also at the same time come out with pieces of firewood that you can start to use immediately. That you don't really need to go through these stages in processing your firewood, like felling the tree, chop them in sizes, and then split them. In my opinion, that's very unnecessary, and it's a waste of energy, it's a waste of sweat, it's a waste of time. And I hope to show that you can accomplish your pieces just by how to use your tool, how to use it, how to use it basically, and that if you learn this method, maybe you don't need to bring along an axe also. I have seen so many videos of people bringing an axe and a saw and various types of saws in the same video, like bow saw or these silky saws, and at the same time they also have an axe, and they use the axe for certain moments, and then they switch to a saw and do those things, and then when it comes to splitting, they do other things to split. And in my mind, it's completely unnecessary and avoidable. And that if you have an axe, a good size axe, this is a big axe, it's a 2 kilo head, which is 4.5 pounds head. The handle is quite long. It's a quite heavy axe, but it's very efficient, and I have never had any problems using this. And you know, it's even so that I regard my tools, I have to get used to my tools, because the weight of it, I'm not a big guy. I'm not a big guy. I'm a small guy. I'm a small boy. we're going into a whole, this is a hot topic. Actually, it's a hot topic. And do you bring an axe, or do you bring a saw, or do you bring both? It is a hot topic. Anyways, what I want to show and demonstrate with this video is that maybe you only need one tool, but it comes to how do you use it? Can you use it? And basically getting used to it. And what I mean by getting used to it is that you have to create a habit with the tool. For instance, with the weight of it. This is a quite heavy axe, quite heavy to bring along. And just that fact could seem a bit deterring if you're thinking of going out there. And the more I talk about the axe and the things around it, the more the topic just broadens, because it goes into other aspects of being outdoors, which is also this, that you want to keep things light so that you don't have to carry so much weight. But when it comes to tools, the heavier, the almost the better, especially axes, because this is one thing that I don't want to compromise being out there. I want to have something that is safe, because the axe is safe. You can use it in a very safely way if you know how to use it. And it's reliable, very, very reliable compared to the saw. There are just so many things that can go wrong with a saw that would leave you worse than if you would have an axe with you. You can rely on the axe. The weight issue. I'm not a big guy, but I'm of the mind that if you're going to be out there and it's your passion, it's your interest, and you find stimulation and it helps you in your daily life, then also get used to the tools that make you feel that way, that bring that satisfaction to you, that are puzzles of the grand piece, of the grand picture. That if you know that being out there in nature helps you in various ways, then also get used to the tools that help you to get there. And the weight. I have spent so much time carrying this that I have gotten used to it. I have deliberately taken it with me, strapped it on my backpack frame, knowing that I will not use it when I go out. But I wanted to get used to the weight carrying it. I have trained with it. I'm not a big guy, and I have learned to swing it in a way that I can manage the weight, and that I use the tools qualities to its advantage, so that I don't wear out myself, that I know where my limits are. I know my limitations, and I also know nature. Like in winter time, for instance, you don't want to sweat, so you have to have that in mind when you are using the axe, so that you use it in a way that is safe for you, that you don't sweat, but also that you don't get hurt in other ways. Well, it's a very broad, big topic when it comes to tools. But basically, in this video, I just wanted to hopefully demonstrate that with an axe you can accomplish your firewood or your building process without needing an axe. And this by completely skipping this tendency, this locked idea that you have to process your firewood in different stages, which is fell the tree, cut it to sizes, and then split it in small pieces. So that's what we will, I hope to do in this video, that you can avoid all those stages completely in how you use the axe without needing a saw. All right. This is a topic for a different video. But okay, let's go down to the photograph that I wanted to take, the vision of the photo. All right, the photo. I want to use this photo for as my thumbnail for this video on YouTube also, but because YouTube already has a set format, which is the landscape format, I have to take this photo in the landscape format. But I think aesthetically this photo would be better in portrait format instead of landscape. But that choice has already been made for us. Okay, so here is the camera. Shooting that way, and this is me. And I'm gonna wear a belt with a hook to the dogs. Like so. So we are going forward towards the camera. Depending, I haven't really decided yet if we will be running in a forest road or if we would be in the forest going zigzagging between trees. But my original idea was that this will be an action photo, which means that we're going full speed towards the camera, and that would be different than to zigzag between trees. We will not be able to go full speed between trees, so I have to see. But the idea is that we will be going towards the camera, and I also want to have a short field of depth of field, so that I want to have the second dog in focus, complete focus, the whole dog, and me a bit out of focus, and the first dog a bit out of focus. So the challenge is how to time to trigger the camera so that we achieve this purpose, so that we are not slightly too much in advance or too late, that we time it in the exact location where I want. I think this will be Sitka, where the second dog only is in focus, but all of us will be seen in the photo. The second challenge is, because this camera is completely analog and it also does not have a built-in timer on it, which means that I can't go and activate the timer and then go back to a location where we then run towards the camera and hopefully time it at the exact same location. I don't have a timer on the camera, So how do I activate the camera while running with the dogs, and at the same time activate it, trigger the camera at the exact right moment? So that's the challenge, but we like it. That's what makes good videos and good photography. Yes, but I think you get it. I think you get it, and I'm up for the task. I'm up for the challenge, and we'll see how it goes. Another thing, guys, is that we only have one attempt, one shot to make this, to realize this photograph, this idea. Such is the nature of large format photography, that I have 4 carriers, 4 film holders, which means that I can load them with 8 negatives. But the nature of large format photography is that we don't want to waste negatives. And if I want to play it safe, I would only load with 2 negatives to take 2 pictures. But I will only load with 1 negative. And so we only have one attempt to do this. So that's an additional challenge to large format photography, that you don't want to waste your negatives, your sheets. They are expensive, but the what's nice with large format photography is that it forces you to plan your photos, so that you already know what you want before you bring your camera out. And hopefully we will manage to accomplish this with 1 attempt. And if the photo is important enough, if it's a client that asks it, and we don't manage with 1 attempt, I might bring 2 negatives to play it safe, to take 2 and choose the best one. But we'll do with 1 and see how it goes. Alright guys, let's go do this. The weather has turned. It's very humid. It might actually also rain. Well, I brought a poncho with me, but it's very slippery. Very slippery. I wouldn't be surprised if I slipped and got dragged by these two four-wheelers times two 8-wheelers. I only have 2 wheels. It has happened before that I slipped and was dragged in full speed, and I had to get 7 stitches on my left knee. I don't want to do that again, so we'll take it easy. Höger, 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 höger Riley, höger, höger. Bra. Så, då går vi. Höger. Bra. Ja. Höger Riley. Vänster, 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 vänster. Stanna, stanna. Stanna, stanna. Vänta. Här, höger, 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 höger. Här. Så, stanna här. Stanna. All right, varsågod. Sitka. Sitka. Varsågod. So we have felled our tree down successfully and safely. All dogs still have their all paws there, and so now this is the point where that I made earlier in the presentation introduction of this video, the planning of it, that at this point some people might come out with a saw and saw away sections of it, and then split those small logs into smaller pieces. And this is where I mean you don't necessarily need to do that, and you can achieve all those things just by using an axe, the things that you think you would need a saw to do. And additionally, maybe I don't need to bring this up, but these small pieces, these chips that came off from felling the tree itself, they are very useful in the initial making of the fire. So I will be gathering these and use them to feed the fire in the beginning. This is a dry pine, and it's full of turpentine. Ah, the smell, very nice. All right, let's get to the important part of how we can go about with just the axe. So if you would have a saw, or if you don't think that at this point that you have to have a saw, what I would like to demonstrate is that you can achieve everything. You don't need to go through this process of first cutting sections, small logs, and then split them, and that's completely unnecessary. So what I will attempt to demonstrate now, and hopefully everything will work out as I planned and as I would like to show, is that I will be chopping in with the axe and peel off layer by layer. So that would mean that we don't have to cut off the whole log to then split into smaller sections, but we can achieve this purpose just by using our axe, by just peeling off layer by layer. And in so making, we will get those sizes that we want to get to start the initial fire. Once the fire is started, there might not be any need to further do sections. If our intention is to stay here the night, I wouldn't go about and cut small logs of the entire tree. I would just make a fire use the whole tree to make a fire. But to start the fire, I need these smaller sections. And so here we go. So 3 strikes, and we have a very nice section here. 2 sections, and more are coming off. And what this does is just using a heavy axe with a good splitting ability. A good heavy axe, bring it down at an angle, not straight down, not 90 degrees against the grain. You have to come out at an angle, and the axe itself will pop up those these pieces as we saw. One just flew off. Let's go on. And if you would, you can also use the length of the handle to pry, use it as leverage, and this doesn't require any strength at all. One more. here we have a flat, nice piece. I will use this piece to start my fire on. And we know that when the ground is wet or it's winter, it's good to lay out a foundation to start your fire on, to protect that first flame. And so I will keep this one. And also, if you get tired from chopping using a heavy tool, just take a break. Drink water, take a break, recuperate, and get on it again. It's not a competition. Be safe, because these things will wear out on your arms, and you will get tired. And when you get tired, you start to maybe shake, maybe you need to eat, maybe you need to drink, but you get carried away with the work. You want to finish the work. Once you start that first chop, you also want to finish it with the last one. But it's not a competition. You get tired using tools like this, take a break, be safe, drink water, recuperate, and get on it later. So we'll keep this one. And at this point, now we have a flat surface. It's a very small, there's not much left of the tree. So what I will do is I will now get to the side of it and chop away from this way, and then I will come to this other side and do the same thing. And you also see that I'm standing on the opposite side of where I want to peel off the layers, where I want to chop. And this is a safety issue, so that I'm not here and risk to chop off my foot. But it's obvious. I'm not putting any pressure on the weight. I'm not using any strength. I'm just focusing to aim, and I let the axe do the heavy work. Very nice. I can just put a flame on this. I might not even need to do feather sticks, but I can just put a flame here and we'll get our fire going. So now I'll do the same on the other side. Yes, I switched when I have my, yeah, I sometimes switch holds, grips. It's a bit, you have to see which, if you're comfortable switching, but it's just a practice thing. I can have my right hand furthest down towards the head, or my left. It's a practice thing. And here comes also a point where I have to decide, do I have enough pieces to make my fire for what I need? I think if we're just gonna grill some sausages and make coffee, this is perfectly fine. But for the purpose of this demonstration, we have come to a point where it only remains a very small piece of wood. And as a precaution to not continue with the axe all the way down, I will use the axe just to turn the log over so that I can take away this piece also. And the idea is that I don't chop through and damage my axe on the ground, because I don't know what's under the log. There must be a rock or just sand, or so. Let's turn over this log. So we now have a select piles of pieces, and we are really good to go to start our fire. We might not even need to do any feather sticks, and this will be the foundation where we start our fire. But if we still want to do feather sticks, we can select the nicest, thinnest, maybe this one or this one, somewhere around the inner core of the tree. Here's bark, and there is some bark here also. So somewhere inside the tree to make our feather sticks. And yeah, let's do it. And again, it's still just the axe. So the smaller the pieces, the better. And this is also where a good heavy axe is handy. Good heavy sharp axe is handy, because the axe does the job for you. Here's a nice piece. Let's continue. And I switch it over. For this, it's good to have a sharp axe. We will collect all those small pieces. Okay, I think we have enough. So at these things, now we only need to put a flame on there. So I will collect these and we'll get our fire going. These insects. And remember, we didn't even need to do these feather sticks, because we have all these chips from when we were chopping the whole thing. They are perfectly fine to start a fire with. have a nice fire going on. We got all these things from this size section from our tree, and the tree I will lean it up against the tree so that it's not lying on the ground. And the reason for that is I really like this place. It's a very nice place. I haven't been here before, and I will lean up the tree that I fell towards against another tree so that it's upstanding, and that will protect it best from further rain, so that if I come back here to the same location, I can use that tree again. That's the reason to lean it up against a tree. If it's just on the ground, it will eventually rotten. But if it's leaning, standing up, I will be able to use it all the way through this winter. And I think I will come back here later with Paula. It's a very nice place. Alright guys, I will take the occasion to introduce my fireside talks, the scene for that. And if you remember watching my Patreon introduction, and the fireside talk is part of it's part of a tier, a reward that my Patreons will get. So if you guys, I have 2 Patreons. Thank you very much. I will put your names in a rolling list, and you will be able to have access to the fireside talks on Patreon. And I will cut it away from YouTube, so it's not available to other YouTubers. If you guys also are interested to hear what the fireside talk will be about, there is Patreon. Thanks. So, fireside talks. Alright guys, fireside talk. And welcome to the fireside talk. The topic for this fireside talk is animal encounters. And if you are a YouTube follower, subscribers, you can follow this talk on Patreon. I don't want to be mean against you. It's just that I like to see how this Patreon goes, and I have 2 subscribers so far. Thank you very much. You will get your names on the list. And so these talks, this fireside talk, the topic for this one is for you guys. And so, animal encounters. And by that, I would like to, it's in relation to animal encounters in Lapland, in Scandinavia, including Finland, and also animal encounters in Central Africa. That's the topic. And if you have watched one of my videos with the bear encounter, that's one kind of animal encounters. I want to specify, it's not just animal encounter, seeing a fox or a squirrel or something like that, but more dangerous animal encounters. And you probably have watched my bear encounter from Lapland, and maybe you have some opinions about how Riley and I dealt with that bear, and maybe you have some advice for us how we could have done better and so. And I would like to talk about my greatest fear of animal encounters. And my absolutely greatest fear is not animals, it's people. But this topic is on animals. From the animal kingdom, the animal I fear the most is so this was my first fireside talk. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching this video. So now we are back on YouTube again, So guys, I just told some stories, and if you're interested to watch this, it's available on Patreon. And while telling the story, I've been having coffee in between. I managed to, I was too much into the story. My sausage is all black, soothy, and I didn't pay much attention to my sausage here. But if you want to hear the fireside talk, it's available on Patreon, and I hope you get interested enough to support me on Patreon also, and you will have access to this talk. So thanks, guys. The dogs are very calm. Sitka. Oh. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. Vänta, 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 vänta. Okay, 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 okay.